Hello and welcome to another edition of the weekly program Building Our Future Together, an agenda for continued development of Ogun State under the leadership of Prince Dapo Abiodun, where we showcase some of the activities of his administration. I am Okpeyemi Adewumi. Welcome on board. 6 new permanent secretaries have been sworn in the Ogun State Civil Service by Governor of the state, Prince Dapo Abiodun. Also sworn in are 4 new principals general and 4 new head teachers general. The governor elogized the virtues and competence of the civil service in the state, revealing that the process to clear the backlog of 2018, 2019 and 2020 promotion exercise are at advanced level, while plan for the commencement of the payment of the new minimum wage in October is being perfected.
Since the inception of the administration of Prince Dapo Abiodun as the governor of Ogun State, he has reiterated his commitment to the development of the civil service in the state. The swearing-in of the new permanent secretaries is in fulfillment of the promise to follow due process, be obedient to the rule of law.
To the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution.
Also sworn in are 4 principals general and 4 head teachers general.
Do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The governor charged the permanent secretaries to ensure that they imbibe world best practices in the discharge of their duties.
But I must say that the process that led to your appointment was particularly based on seniority, merit, professionalism, equity, inclusiveness, and in fact, the overall interest of the public service and the general good of the people of Ogun State. We have restored the positions of the principal generals and head teachers, general. This is to motivate our teachers to attain this higher position of authority. The appointment of principal generals and head teacher generals among our teachers is in line with the positive transformation we are carrying out in our schools, and also in keeping with our campaign promises. For us, a promise made is a promise.
Prince Dapo Abiodun said the current administration is irrevocably committed to the welfare of its workers.
We are already perfecting plans to commence the payment of the new minimum wage, the outstanding 2015-2020 leave bonus allowances, deductions, etc. Let me reassure our workers that this administration will not, and I repeat, we will not deny you of the rewards of your meritorious hard work. You have all worked and contributed your quota to the continued development of our dear state. Personally, as a child of retired public servants, I appreciate the import of this entitlement to the welfare, wellness, and well-being of workers, either serving and retired. I'm particularly using this occasion to state the commitment of our administration to offset all outstanding dues and other entitlements as financial status of the state improves. We will continue to engage labor unions and other stakeholders in these regards.
The newly sworn-in promised to contribute their quota to the Building Our Future Together agenda of the current administration.
This is a focused administration with a well-thought-out developmental agenda, succinctly encapsulated and in the Building Our Future Together agenda of his administration. This is a government with a mission and clear vision. So we need to join hands with this administration to make this idea and ideas lofty so that the majority of the citizens of Ogun State will feel the dividend of democracy.
I'm assuring our colleagues, civil servants, continued loyalty to this government.
Meanwhile, the 10 newly inaugurated chairmen and members of boards and parastatals in Ogun State are expected to solidify the Building Our Future Together agenda and the various agencies of government, which will translate into better quality of life and economic growth of the people of the state. The state governor, Prince Dakpo Abiodun, made the submission at the June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta, during the inauguration of the boards.
The new board members of 10 agencies of government were Management Board, Ogun State Agro Services Corporation, Ogun State Bulk Purchasing, Ogun State Agric Multipurpose Credit Agency or SAMCA, Ogun State Market Development Board, Ogun State Broadcasting Corporation, Ogun State Alternate Medicine Board, Food Crop Marketing Board, and Ogun State Waste Management Authority, Ogwama. Governor Dakpo Abiodun says he has no doubt in the competence of the board members, admonishing them to see this appointment as a call to serve.
Permit me to note that all members of the boards being inaugurated today have been sourced from a vast pool of the brightest and best in our dear state. As the saying goes, to whom so much is given, so much is expected. I therefore charge the chairman and all members of these new boards to consider themselves as part of a larger team of visionaries. Therefore, I will urge you to study the vision of our administration and match it against the specific mandate of your boards.
He notes that the current administration in the state is working its talk by fulfilling its electioneering campaign promises, redefining governance in the state, and setting the state on the path of sustainable development.
By virtue of your new office, you will need to help initiate positive policies and programs for the individual prosperity of our people and the continued development of our dear state. In fact, you are coming at a time when your leadership experience will be needed not only to fight against COVID-19, but to help cushion the effects of the pandemic on our people and chart a course for the effectiveness and efficiency of the various MDAs in the new normal of post-COVID-19. I need to say that as members of boards of government agencies, you are all enjoined to make probity your watchword and be prudent in the management of both human and material resources under your care. You must therefore consider all members of staff as the important catalysts to achieving the greatness of your boards in particular and the set goals of our administration in general. Already we have a monitoring and evaluation system in place to qualitatively and quantitatively assess performance in your respective agencies. We call them the Government Delivery Unit, GDU.
The newly inaugurated board members promise to give their best in the service of the state.
Appointment like this is a challenge to call to service and come and display our capability and also justify the confidence our governor reposed in us.
This inauguration is the first batch of many to be done.
As Nigeria celebrates 60th anniversary of our independence from colonial rule, the governor of Ogun State said there are reasons for the nation to celebrate, as the country has made notable and remarkable progress economically, socially, and politically. Governor Abiodun, who stated this in Abeokuta, in his address to mark the 60th independence anniversary, noted that though the country was facing numerous challenges, the fact that it was still standing and moving forward calls for celebration.
The anniversary celebration was held low-key this year. The development is attributed to the scourge of the novel coronavirus pandemic. The theme of this year's anniversary celebration, Together Shall We Be, had been chosen to forge a more united and cohesive Nigeria. The parade of security agencies was the flagship of the celebration in Ogun State. The state governor, Prince Dakpo Abiodun, stresses that there is reason to celebrate Diamond Jubilee of Nigeria.
At 60, we should not be talking about how our nation will become a world power. We should be talking about how to consolidate our world status. We have all the human and natural resources to make us a world power. All we need to do is to bring our collective will to harness our potentials. We must also accept that development is a process You must also know that the process has a cost. The good news is that the cost is not expensive. All we have to pay is our collective patience to see the process through a logical conclusion. We will have to make painful but necessary decisions. The failure of the past in taking these decisions is what led us to where we are today.
Governor Abiodun expresses the need for Nigerians to continue focusing more on uniting rather than dividing the nation, as the country has potentials to become one of the biggest economies of the world.
But sacrifices have to be made. Let me say that the pains and inconveniences we currently experience due to the current situation of our economy are short-term and are in fact a prelude to a better tomorrow for all of us, our country and the coming generations. The naysayers may have complained of the same admonitions made in the past without results. But the difference is that we now have a federal government with a leadership that is sincere in its policies and its programs. It is on record that since suffering a recession and a full year of negative growth in the recent past, Nigeria's economy has recovered slowly and steadily.
He describes the theme of the celebration, Together Shall We Be, as instructive, acknowledgeable, and contributions of the founding fathers all over the nation, and reflective of the Building Our Future Together agenda of the current administration in the state.
As an administration, we have made as a matter of policy to continue to improve on all sectors of our dear state economy. We have continued to enact bold reforms in the process and system of governance to boost economic activities. This has helped us to accelerate development in our economic pillars. This has in turn provided strong foundation for the optimum contribution of our economic enablers to the continued development of our dear state.
The governor notes that his administration was poised to reposition in the state through infrastructure, social welfare and well-being, education, youth development and agriculture. Governor Abiodun pledges to execute projects and programs as well as complete those that have direct impact on the lives of the people.
All our programs are interrelated to ensure more prosperity for the people of Ogun so that they can contribute their respective quotas to the development of our dear state. Furthermore, with our resilience and determination towards creating an enduring economic development and individual prosperity for the people of Ogun State, the last 1 year of administration has been dedicated upon several projects across all sectors. And while conceptualizing all these projects, we are determined to complete them, including the inherited ones that have positive impacts on the people. I can assure you, the people of Ogun State, that our administration will remain focused on its commitment towards the continued socio-economic development of our dear state. As we are gradually approaching the post-COVID-19 era, all sectors of the economy will be opened up for them to realize their full potential.
The symbolic washing of hands and cutting of anniversary cake climaxed the occasion.
The Ogun State Social Housing Project, in conjunction with federal government, will soon commence as it intends to build 10,000 houses in the next few years. This is aside from the affordable housing projects going on across the state. Governor Dapo Abiodun revealed this while addressing attendees of the special service of the National Day celebration at Cathedral of St. Peter, Ake, Abeokuta.
The event is special church service to mark the 60th National Day celebration of Nigeria. This also afforded the governor of Ogun State the opportunity of intimating the people of the state of his activities thus far.
We're not doing roads because of any sentimental reason. We're doing roads because they make sense. So you look at the road that goes from Ekpe to Ijebu-Ode, or the Navy road that we did that connects Lagos to Ado-Ota, or the Abeokuta road that we're doing, or the roads that we're doing in Ijebu-Ode, or the other roads that we're doing here in Abeokuta, or the roads that we're doing in Ifo. They are roads that actually make sense.
He reveals that his administration is working hard to provide the right type of housing for its people.
The plan for us is to provide the right type of housing that will be affordable for our citizenry, both civil servants and the general public. And we sat down and said, what would it mean for a house to be affordable? It must be in a good location, it must be of the right size, and of course it must be priced right. And I think we got that right. The first phase of our K-Entire housing estate has been completely oversubscribed. Because of that, we have extended our project across the length and breadth of the state. Our social housing project will soon commence. And the plan is for us to build houses
to build 10,000 houses over the next 3 years. This we are doing in partnership with the federal government. These houses will cost about 2 million naira.
Prince Dapo Abiodun says better days are now here for farmers in the state.
Permit me to mention the fact that when COVID started in March, we decided that we needed to do two things. Look at how to ensure food security, while at the same time creating job opportunities for our youth. And we succeeded in both. In Yewa North, we started planting rice using our youth. And about a month ago, we were harvesting that rice that we planted in March during the pandemic. During the pandemic, when people were recording losses, when people were suffering, when people were complaining, Ogun State was harvesting rice. Rice is not the only thing we planted, though. We planted cassava. We are the largest producer of cassava in this country.
The governor sent a message of hope to Nigerians.
We have heard a lot of prophecy of doom for this country. Nigeria will not survive beyond so and so year. We've defied all those odds. This current pandemic struck us first in Ogun State, out of all the states in the country. We are surviving it. All the predictions that the pandemic will take so many 100,000 lives has not come to pass. Because why? God is definitely with us as a people. We are we're a praying nation. We have the largest numbers of believers in both faiths. So God definitely with us. I disagree with anyone that says that God is punishing us. God is with us. God has said he will be merciful unto us, and he's been merciful unto us.
A robust economic sustainability plan is being executed in Ogun State, which will provide jobs, food security, and shelter for its citizens.
As part of efforts to cushion the effect of COVID-19 pandemic on businesses in Ogun State, the State Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment has commenced mobilization of micro, small and medium enterprises to enable them register and access the 75 billion MSMES Survival Fund from the federal government. Commissioner for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Kike Lomolonge, made this known while speaking during a meeting with various MSMES and business membership organizations on the Survival Fund held at the Ministry Conference Room, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Stating, Mrs. Longe said small business owners in the state should access the 5 components of Survival Fund, which include the payroll support, artisan transport grants, general MSME grants, formalization, support and guaranteed offtake stimulus scheme. The commissioner noted that application for the payroll support available for private schools, factory owners, law firms, hospitals and hotels is currently on, stressing that the application for the component of the Survival Fund closes by 15th of October 2020.
However, it is important that we begin to mobilize our people, create awareness and let them be aware, right? Let them know what is available.
Ogun State Ministry of Agriculture has promised to partner with investors with the core mandate of utilizing its agricultural resources for industrial and job creation opportunities. Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adiola Odedino, stated this during an inspection tour to the Raw Material Research and Development Council Display Center in Abeokuta, the state capital.
Leading the monitoring team from Ogun State Ministry of Agriculture through Ajegunle and Obafe land clearing sites and farm settlements is the Commissioner for Agriculture and other officials from the ministry. The Commissioner explains what necessitated the tour to some new farm sites for the Anchor Borers program at Obafe Miwode local government.
So we are about to release another batch of 1,500 farmers, and these sites happen to be in line for that opportunity. So we are here to inspect land clearing for young people in Obafe, a local government area of the state.
He assures that all strategies put in place by the state government are being implemented to support all prospective farmers with the aim of promoting locally made food produce in the state.
The state is providing infrastructure in terms of land clearing, while our financial anchor partner, Central Bank, is providing funding, and we are working with off-takers that will buy the products from young people.
One of the farm settlers, while speaking with OGTV News crew, expresses gratitude to the present administration's agricultural drive. Dr. Odedino disclosed that new beneficiaries of the Ogun Anchor Borrowers Program will be announced soon, adding that every basic farming needs will be provided to them so as to sustain the food security agenda of the state.
And to wrap up the program today, the much desired development in the tourism industry will remain elusive if there is effective collaboration between government and the private sector. To this end, Ogun State government is ready to leverage on the public-private partnership initiative as a way of shoring up its revenue drive. The State Governor Prince Dakpo Abiodun, represented by Secretary to State Government Mr. Tokunbo Talabi, stated this at the virtual 43rd World Tourism Day celebration organized by the Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
The World Tourism Day, commemorated every 27th of September, is intended to focus attention on the limitless opportunities that abound in the industry and unleash its potentials for revenue generation. Again, the purpose is to raise awareness on the impact of tourism within nations and to celebrate the multi-sectorial nature of tourism in promoting socio-economic development across various climes. In Ogun State, government has repeatedly made its intention known to turn the sector into a huge revenue-generating hub. Hence, the Ministry of Culture and Tourism organized a virtual event to mark the year 2020 World Tourism Day. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Mrs. Malusia Ogunremi, appeals to stakeholders, particularly those in the private sector, to partner with the state government to develop and promote nature-based tourism sites in the state.
World Tourism Day.
The ministry's commissioner, Dr. Oluwatoyin Taiwo, while reading the United Nations Secretary General's address, says the ministry has mapped out plans to join forces to rejig tourism and make it more beneficial to all.
The demand of the tourists, both local and international tourists. And that's exactly what we had done when we came on board. We went to see the state and we found out we need to do a lot of work. His Excellency, because of his passion for tourism, gave us some fund to make sure we do some renovations of some of those sites to make sure that the products in those sites are able to meet up with the demands.
There were messages of hope from Chairman, House Committee on Information, Culture and Tourism, Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Yusuf Adejojo, and Commissioner for Rural Development, Honorable Taiwo Oludotun, who call for concerted efforts by the state government to tap into naturally endowed tourist centers.
We have some untapped gold mines located in rural areas, which if developed, it will increase the internal generated revenue, improve living standard of the residents in such area.
Any society that refuses the tourism and rural development will definitely remain in that.
Guest speakers Ola Wright and Dr. Kola Oyefeso harp more on this year's theme, tourism and rural development. The gathering attracted the presence of the state governor, Prince Dakpo Abiodun, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tokunbo Talabi.
The major setback has been the pandemic, where everybody is limited. We even had a team coming from Abuja to come and look at what has happened, what we can do, and they want to make a publication in the international media of key heritage sites in Nigeria. And some of the Ogun State sites are also going to be listed on those markets, yes.
The 2020 edition of World Tourism Day was held virtually due to the global pandemic.
And with that, we've come to the end of the program, Building Our Future Together. Join us again next week for another edition. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.